Hello everybody, welcome to WHSE, our HSE broadcasting station. I welcome you very warmly to our very first episode in which I want to talk about our own HSE offerings. So I want to show you what we have in terms of open source projects. I also want to introduce you to our commercial modules and tools and libraries, and I want to show you where you can find all those things and where you can find more information on them. So let's start with our website. So when you browse to our website at humper-soft.com, and if you enter /tools and libraries, or if you click on the menu, you're presented with our tools and libraries website. First and foremost, you can see a link to our release automation tools, which are a collection of VIs that can be run automatically on your server, triggered maybe by continuous integration machinery to execute various tasks, building, documenting, testing, deploying. So this is our most important product and tool at the moment, and if you're interested in continuous integration or in automation, please give a look to it. Scrolling further down on our tools and libraries page, there's another link to our commercial offerings, and it's linking to our Dokuwiki. Our Dokuwiki is the place where we collect all information about our products, about our projects, also customer-specific information, but first and foremost, public information. And if you browse to dokuwiki.humper-soft.com and you navigate to code and commercial, you can see a list of commercial offerings that we have currently in our libraries. So we have a system that can show a help window, we have a configuration editor, we have a logger that's based on the Python logging system, and we offer commercial extensions for that logger, like log rotation, like logging to databases, etc. We have a module that is able to talk to Siemens PLCs. We have a state machine parser, which is a tool that can read the source code of our state machines and generate documentation from that. We have a translation module, a user access control module. I already mentioned the release automation tools, and then we have a tool that allows us to check out specific source control versions automatically. Furthermore, going back to our tools and libraries page, if I scroll down even further, I'm presented with a statement about inner source and open source, and it links to our open source offerings. So navigating to opensource.humper-soft.com, you're presented with this page here, and you can see links to various projects that we share with the community. We have a few projects related to DQMH. First and foremost, our Windows Application Template. We have modules for generic networking. And then we have a bunch of reuse libraries. So a collection of more or less helpful tools. We have our logging in place. We have a layout manager, which helps with aligning objects on the front panel. And we have a database module that abstracts away which database system you're actually talking to. Currently, we support MySQL, AutoDB, and SQLite. And if we go further down, we can see various other reuse libraries and drivers. We have an API for Gitlab, an API for using Git. Then we have our driver that we use for communicating with Siemens PLCs. And we have implemented various other APIs for our own purposes or for our customers. So again, opensource.humper-soft.com is the place to look into. And if we go back to, for example, the Windows Application Template, you can see we have 3 links here. We link to the releases page, to the documentation page, and to the repository page. So the releases, they point, again in our Dokuwiki, to released versions that we created, and they offer download links here. So for the application template, again, you can find the latest versions, you can find the source distribution, you can find an executable, you can find a VIPC that you need to apply to have all the dependencies if you want to work on the source code. And you can also see that there's a link to an automatically generated PDF, that is the auto-generated documentation built or created by our release automation tools. The other link that we see here is pointing to the repository, and this is pointing to our Gitlab project. So in this case, you can see the HSE Windows Application Template hosted in Gitlab, and you can clone it from here and work on the source code if you want to. If you look at the HSE or Humper Software Engineering namespace here on gitlab.com, you can see that we have a collection of various different things here. We have our customer projects as well as other open source offerings. So if that's interesting for you, feel free to browse the GitLab resources here.